This is not a video game. What you're about to see is real, recorded not by a camera crew, not by a journalist, but by a machine moving at high speed, just meters above the ground. A small drone weaves through trees, dips over a trench, locks onto a target, and dives. In recent years, a new kind of weapon has emerged. Cheap, fast, and incredibly effective. It doesn't require a runway, it doesn't need a pilot in the cockpit, and it doesn't cost millions of dollars. It fits in a backpack. These are FPV drones, first-person view drones, and they are rapidly reshaping how wars are fought. From improvised workshops to the front lines, these devices have turned hobbyists into operators and small units into precision strike forces. But what makes them so powerful isn't just technology, it's accessibility, and that may change warfare forever. FPV stands for first-person view. Unlike traditional drones, which are often stabilized and partially automated, FPV drones are flown manually, completely controlled by a human operator. The pilot wears goggles or watches a live video feed streamed directly from a camera mounted on the drone. What they see is exactly what the drone sees. It's immersive, immediate, and incredibly precise. Originally, FPV drones were built for sport, racing through obstacle courses at high speed, performing acrobatic maneuvers, diving off cliffs and skyscrapers. These machines were designed for agility, not combat. They're small, lightweight, and relatively inexpensive. Many are assembled from off-the-shelf parts, motors, frame, batteries, cameras. This modular design makes them easy to repair and easy to modify. And that flexibility is part of what made them so adaptable to a very different purpose. Because once a technology becomes accessible, it rarely stays confined to its original use. The transition from recreational tool to battlefield asset didn't happen overnight, but it also didn't take long. As conflicts evolved, so did the demand for tools that were fast, cheap, and effective. Traditional military equipment, tanks, missiles, aircraft, can be extraordinarily expensive and resource-intensive. FPV drones, by contrast, can be built and deployed at a fraction of that cost. What makes them particularly significant is not just their price, but their adaptability. Units can experiment, adjust designs, iterate quickly. This creates a cycle of rapid innovation rarely seen in conventional military systems. Instead of years of development, changes can happen in weeks or even days. Operators train using simulators. They refine their skills like gamers, but apply them in real-world scenarios. And because these drones are controlled in real time, they offer something unique: human judgment at the point of action. That combination, low cost, high adaptability, and real-time control, has made FPV drones a defining feature of modern conflict zones. To understand why FPV drones have become so influential, you have to look at what they can do. First, precision. Because they are manually controlled, operators can guide drones through tight spaces, windows, doorways, trenches, areas that are difficult or impossible for traditional systems to reach. Second, speed and maneuverability. These drones can move quickly and unpredictably, making them hard to track and even harder to intercept. Third, visibility. The live video feed gives operators immediate situational awareness. They can adjust their approach in real time, reacting to movement, obstacles, or changes on the ground. Fourth, cost efficiency. When a system is inexpensive, it changes how it's used. Instead of preserving equipment, operators can take risks. They can deploy drones frequently, experiment with strategies, and maintain constant pressure. Finally, accessibility. FPV drones don't require massive infrastructure. They can be launched from almost anywhere, operated by small teams, and integrated into a wide range of scenarios. Taken together, these factors create a tool that is flexible, responsive, and difficult to counter using traditional methods. But the impact of FPV drones isn't just physical, it's psychological. Imagine hearing a faint buzzing overhead. You can't see the source, You don't know where it's coming from, and you don't know when or if it will strike. That uncertainty creates stress, constant low-level tension that wears people down over time. Unlike larger systems, which are visible and predictable, small drones can appear suddenly and without warning. They introduce a new kind of threat, one that is persistent and difficult to escape. Even when no drones are present, the possibility remains, and that possibility alone can influence behavior, decision-making, and morale. In many ways, this psychological dimension is as significant as the physical capabilities of the technology itself. As with any new technology, responses have emerged. Efforts to counter drones are evolving rapidly. Some focus on electronic interference, attempting to disrupt communication between the operator and the drone. Others rely on detection systems, using sensors, radar, or visual tracking to identify incoming threats. Physical defenses also play a role. Barriers, protective structures, and changes in movement patterns can reduce vulnerability. But the challenge is significant, because the same qualities that make FPV drones effective, small size, speed, adaptability, also make them difficult to stop. And as countermeasures improve, so do the drones themselves. This creates an ongoing cycle: action, reaction, adaptation. A technological feedback loop that continues to accelerate. Looking ahead, the implications are profound. What happens when these systems become more autonomous? When artificial intelligence assists with navigation, targeting, or coordination? The concept of drone swarms, large numbers of units operating together, has already moved from theory to experimentation. In such scenarios, scale becomes a factor. Not just one drone, but dozens or hundreds working in coordination. At the same time, barriers to entry remain relatively low, which raises important questions. Who has access to this technology? How is it regulated, and how will it shape conflicts in the years to come? What's clear is that warfare is becoming more decentralized, more dynamic, and more influenced by innovation at the individual and small unit level. FPV drones are not the most powerful weapons ever created. They don't have the range of missiles, the scale of airstrikes, or the impact of heavy artillery. But they represent something different, a shift from centralized power to distributed capability, from high cost to accessibility, from distance to immersion. They are tools shaped not just by technology, but by the people who use them. And in that sense, they reflect a broader trend: the merging of civilian innovation with military application. The line between hobby and weapon, between game and reality, becoming increasingly blurred. As this technology continues to evolve, one thing is certain: the battlefield is changing, and the changes are happening faster than ever before.